What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I'm just going to give you guys a fair warning before we even get started here that I haven't been to sleep yet. I haven't been to sleep yet. You guys know I'm a night owl. Haven't been to sleep yet, but I was looking at the time. I was like, oh, it's like noon. Okay, noon, 1 o'clock. That's always a good time for a stream. Let's do a stream before I crash out. Let's knock a stream out before I crash out. So just a fair warning, I might stumble over my words today, just a little bit, but we're still going to knock it out of the park anyway. We're still going to knock it out of the park anyway. Don't worry about it. Ghost, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. PJ, what is up? Ghost, you got first today. Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. There we go. What's up, Truth? Welcome, Truth. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's having a good day. What are we going to be talking about today, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the only thing that you should be fighting. Now, that's not something we say here very often. Me telling you to fight something, not something you hear me say very often. Not around here. Not in these parts. We don't often use the word fight. But the one thing that you should be fighting, right? If fighting is even the word that you want to use, is the urge to worry. And out from that, I've got second fear, because as we've been over many, many times here, second fear, worry, same thing, worry, second fear, same thing. What is up, Mike? Welcome to the stream, dude. It's going to be a good one. I've already warned chat. I'm a little sleepy. Haven't slept yet, so I might stumble over my words today, but that's all right. We're still going to get our point across. What's up, Ivan? Welcome, dude. Welcome. Afternoon streams are always very popular, so we shouldn't have to wait around too long before we get started. What's up, UK? Welcome, dude. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. The only thing you should be fighting, the urge to worry, aka second fear. Some of the most tempting moments that you will ever experience is that urge to log into the second fear, that urge to add the second fear. What is second fear? Worry. Some of the most tempting moments you'll ever have, right? So the only time we will ever give you a pass here on the channel to use the word fight or fighting is if you come to me and you say, I am fighting the urge to go down those rabbit holes. I am fighting the urge to add that worry, to add that second fear, right? What's your thoughts on Albert? I don't know who that is. Breaking down anxiety with rational beliefs. I don't believe in arguing with thoughts. Because I tried that. I tried that for a very long time. Most people tried that. Here's the thing. If arguing with thoughts worked, right, then nobody would be here, because they would have already worked for them. I think that's the first thing that most people try, is to fight with their thoughts, right? That's usually the first go-to for most people, and it simply doesn't work, right? Because you're just making these thoughts stronger by giving them so much importance, and the more you fight with them, the stronger they seem to grow, right? So really what needs to happen is acceptance. That's my opinion on the matter. I tried, personally, I tried the whole fighting with your thoughts thing, and my God, that was the whole reason I ended up in such a deep hole. That was a fight that I could not win, and for most people, I believe that's a fight that you cannot win. Much easier if you just let these thoughts break down on their own by not adding the worry. I will say this though, very quickly, and then we'll get into the stream. Positive thinking, right? I guess that's a start. I'll give you that. I guess that's a start. That's a stepping stone. It's better than adding a bunch of negative thinking, right? Trying to be more positive, trying to be a positive thinker. I guess that's a start. I'll give you that. But I think the next big step, right? The next big step is not so much the positive thinking. That's a start, but the next big step is just to understand that the cycle that you're in. Understand the cycle that you're in, and understand that it's a battle that doesn't need to be fought, right? And I think that's why you're seeing an uprise in things like acceptance and response prevention, for that reason right there. You're seeing CBT start to get less and less popular because it doesn't bring the lasting results, and you're starting to see things like acceptance and ERP, exposure response prevention, right? It's more or less the same thing. You're starting to see those things grow in popularity. People are really starting to catch on to the truth. So, all right, you guys. All right. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the point of today's stream. The only thing you should be fighting, again, we don't use that word here very often. The only thing you should be fighting, the urge to worry, aka second fear. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm all about acceptance. I'm all about not fighting. I'm all about not getting involved, right? That's what acceptance is all about. Stop adding the fuel to the fire, right? But today we're going to use the word fighting because it may feel like a bit of a fight, right? And here's my point. It may feel like a bit of a fight for you to not do the worry. So if you get an intrusive thought, or if you get a strong anxiety symptom, or if you find yourself borderline panic attack, or if you find yourself in a triggering situation, whatever, if you're just triggered in general, that's a good way to sum it up. If you're just triggered in general, right, it may feel like a bit of a fight to hold yourself back from getting involved in the worry. So if you've got a thought, if you've got a feeling, it's almost going to feel like a knee-jerk, habitual reaction for you to jump into your head and start adding all that worry. Oh, God, that thought, what if that happens, blah, 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 go down the rabbit hole. Or there's that feeling, oh, God, what if that leads to, it's going to feel so automatic, right? And a lot of people call it automatic, and I've just been agreeing with them as of late because the habit to worry is so strong that it does feel a bit automatic. So we're going to use the word fight today. You need to fight the urge, right? That's so weird using that word. You need to fight the urge to do that worry. So it's gonna feel like a bit of a fight. Some people feel guilty over that. Some people say, Wonder Bro, when I have these thoughts and I have these feelings and I keep reminding myself, to stay out of it, it's okay, it is what it is, I have to do that a lot and I feel like I'm fighting something. And I'm like, you're accepting because you're not adding the worry to the thoughts and feelings, but it does feel like a bit of a fight for you, and I'll tell you why. Because you're not used to not worrying. You're not used to not worrying. So when you're in that moment, especially in the heat of the moment, and the only thing in the world that you want to do is start adding the worry, because that's what you've been doing for so long. That's why you're in the boat that you're in, right? When you're in the heat of that moment, and you want so badly to jump up in your head and start adding that thinking and that worry to that thought that you just had and experienced, or to that feeling that you're currently experiencing, when you're in that moment and you want so badly, it's the most tempting thing in the world to jump into your head and add the worry, but you're holding yourself back and you're saying no rabbit holes, right? You're giving yourself little accepting reminders. That might feel like a workout, right? That might feel like a bit of a fight. And then because of that, some people feel guilty. And because of that, some people think, oh, I must be doing something wrong because I feel like I'm fighting something. And I'm like, well, yeah, in a way you kind of are. You're fighting your urge to worry. You're fighting your urge to go down the same pathways that you've went down a million times before. You're fighting the urge to get involved in that really, really bad habit that you've had for so long. So in a way, it may feel like a fight. Right? And that's why I wanted to use that word today, because I've had so many people come to me and say that, it feels like a fight. Okay, I'll give you that. It might feel like a fight, but you're not fighting the feelings. You're not fighting the thoughts. You're just fighting your own urge to worry. You're fighting your own bad habits. And in that case, we can gladly use the word fight, right? So an example might be, let's say person A is extremely anxious. They start to get extremely anxious, right? Now, automatically, just from habit, they start to get up in their head a little bit, right? And they're like, oh, here comes this feeling, what's going to happen if this grows, But then they catch themselves. They catch themselves rather quickly because they've been following acceptance for a while. They catch that rather quickly and they turn it into, okay, no. We're not going down that rabbit hole. It is what it is, and then 2 seconds later, they got to remind themselves again because they notice they're starting to go back up. They're starting to go back up there and go down that rabbit hole. So 2 seconds later, they got to catch themselves again. No. We're not going down any rabbit holes. So what if that thought said that? I don't care. It is what it is. So what if this feeling's here? I don't care. It is what it is. Then 2 seconds later, they got to do it again. That feels like a workout, dude. That feels like a workout. That feels like a lot of effort. That feels like in itself a fight. Okay? And it kind of is. But you're not fighting the anxiety. You're not fighting the thoughts. Right? That's what you've been doing. What you're fighting now is not the anxiety and the thoughts. What you're fighting now is your urge to worry. What you're fighting now is your own bad habits. And in that case, we will gladly use the word fight, right? So, I felt like this stream was fundamental because I feel like there's, a good bit of people out there, maybe not a good bit, but there's got to be some people out there who are putting off they're accepting little reminders, they're putting off grounding themselves in the moment, they're putting off all that stuff because they've got this false belief that somehow they're fighting with the thoughts or feelings. No, fighting with the thoughts and feelings is what you've been doing up until this point. That's why you're here on my channel, right? Fighting with the thoughts and feelings is what you've been doing until you found me and the two main keys, right? So you don't have to worry about that. That's what you've been doing, right? Understand that. That's what you've been doing. What you're doing now is every time these thoughts and feelings come around, you are grounding yourself, little accepting reminders. If you notice that you're about to go down the rabbit hole, you quickly pull yourself out. No, that's not worth it. Thinking won't help me here, right? There's a ton of different little reminders you can use. That in itself feels like a workout. That in itself feels like a fight. But my main point of the day's stream, guys, it's not a fight. It's something that you're having to build. It's a new practice that you're building. It's a new habit that you're building. So if your mind has convinced you and suckered you into this idea that when you're trying to ground yourself and not log into the worry and just accept the thoughts and feelings, you have to use a ton of reminders at first. If your mind has convinced you that that's wrong somehow, I'm here to tell you that's not wrong. I'm here to tell you that it's going to feel like a workout. I'm here to tell you that you are fighting your own bad habits, and fighting, okay, that's the only time we'll use the word fighting, but that's allowed there. So, again, I feel like this was just a fundamental little quick stream because, some people, they come to me with that concern, and I'm like, no, of course it's going to feel like a workout. Of course it's going to feel like something brand new to you. Of course it's going to feel like a little bit of a tug of war at first. Of course it's going to feel like all these things. Fighting with the thoughts and feelings is what you've been doing for so long, and just because you need a ton of grounding, accepting reminders to stay out of the rabbit holes, that's fine, right? And I just wanted to clear the air on that today. I wanted to clear the air on that today because it bugged me. It bugged me to think that some people they've got this advice. It's right there. It's in the palm of their hand and it's ready to be used. But they're still up in their head convinced that it's wrong of me to have to use these reminders. It's wrong of me to have to feel like this is work. It's drop all that. Drop all that. Just do the work. Drop all that and just do the work. Every time you get a thought, every time you get a feeling, you want to go the worry route, aka the second fear route, use your little accepting reminders, ground yourself. No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Continue living your life. That's the two main keys right there. Continue living your life. Every time you get that thought and feeling, you want to go down that worry rabbit hole, catch it. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole. Or maybe you're already in it. Pull yourself out. Okay, I'm down that rabbit hole. We're going to go back to living. This is going to feel like work, and that's okay. That is my main point of today's stream. My voice is a little scratchy. I apologize. Hopefully that was a decent stream, even though I'm running on no sleep, have not been to bed yet. Hopefully that was still a decent stream. If you thought so, make sure you leave a like. I would really, really appreciate it. What do you guys think? You think we did okay? You think we did okay? I thought that was a pretty important subject to tackle. Like I said, it just bugged me to think that people have got these two keys right there in their hands, and they start to work on it, and then it feels like work, and it feels like they're doing something wrong, or it feels like they're fighting with it because they have to use so many reminders to stay out of these rabbit holes, so they drop doing it. And I'm like, no. Get back on track. You're not doing anything wrong, right? So we're going to hang out with chat. If you did enjoy the stream, like I said, make sure you give it a thumbs up. We're going to switch over to post-stream, see what we got going on. But how about if you can't stop the habit? You can stop the habit of worry. There's no such thing as your brain being wired to make you worried. Now, what you're referring to is your brain is wired to be anxious, so you're getting a ton of negative intrusive thoughts. This much is true. This much is true. I agree with you on that. However, whether or not you follow those negative intrusive thoughts is not something that you're quote-unquote wired to do or not. It's a choice you make. Right? Now, habitually speaking, you might be in the habit of following every negative thought down the rabbit hole. Right? Out of habit you might be, but there's no such thing as my brain is just wired to make me follow every negative thought and add all the worry. That's something you're doing out of conscious choice. Your brain, I do agree with you half and half. Your brain can be wired to be very anxious and send you a ton of negative intrusive thoughts. That's true. But there's no such thing as my brain is just wired to make me follow these thoughts and add a bunch of worry. That part's on you. right? It's the same as, that would be the same as saying, you know, I pick up a cup of water and I take a sip. My brain was just wired to make me do that. I had no say-so in that. I didn't even want the water, you know. Habitually speaking, you might be picking up that water and drinking it out of such a strong habit that you're not even really thinking about it that much. But at the end of the day, you still had some say-so in that, right? Right. So same concept, there. Um, let's see. What's up, Arnold? How you doing, dude? What's up, Captain? What's up, Captain? Your sleep is messed up again. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It certainly is. There's no doubt in that. There's no doubt in that. Good stream, bro. I appreciate you, Ivan. Thanks for being here, dude. How have you been? What's up, Spider Cat? Man, we got people speaking all sorts of languages. I get where you're coming from, UK, because my brain seemed to be so wired, and you're right. Like I said again, you're halfway correct, right? Your brain can be very wired to be anxious and send you all sorts of negative, intrusive thoughts. That much is true, and I agree with you completely. However, the following of those negative thoughts, aka adding worry to the negative thoughts, and the feelings, right? They're the same thing. Feelings, thoughts, you know, the same practice applies. The following of them and adding the worry to them is very much a choice. It's very much a habit. Catch that habit every time and remind yourself, no more rabbit holes. I'm just going to, hey, I had that thought. You know, I had that thought. I had that feeling. I have that feeling, right? No more rabbit holes. Give yourself that reminder as many times as you need. Don't feel guilty about that. This stream was all about, you know, you are fighting that bad habit, and that's the only time we'll use the word fight here. So, yeah, I hope that clears it up for you. Nope, you're absolutely right, Spider Cat. Which I think you're new here. I've never seen your name before. Are you new here? Are you new? Consider subscribing. Would love to have you around. You're absolutely correct. It's, you know, it's habitual. It's strong habits. That's why I always say it's very tempting. You know, it's some of the most tempting shit in the world to go down the worry rabbit hole, as we call it. So you get a symptom, so tempting to go down the worry rabbit hole. You get a thought, so tempting to go down the worry rabbit hole. It's the most tempting shit in the world, and that's why I say in the title of this stream that it is going to feel like a bit of a fight, but you can use the word fight here. You can use the word fight here. You're fighting your own bad habit. So you might be very tempted. You might have a strong feeling right now. You might have a strong thought right now, and you're going to be very tempted to go down the worry rabbit hole. Just keep reminding yourself, I'm not going down that worry rabbit hole, right? We're not going to go down that worry rabbit hole. Just let it be as it is. And if you have to give yourself plenty of reminders, that is fine. That's my main point of the stream, that is fine. Do the work, right? It's fine. That is fine. That is fine. It's an accumulation of bad habits that has wired your brain to be the way it is. The good thing is we can reverse that wiring, right? The good thing is we can rewire. So regardless of how you ended up here, which I'll give you a bit of a spoil alert, right? Even though it's kind of irrelevant to really think too much of how you ended up where you are, I'll give you a bit of a spoiler alert. You ended up where you are from an accumulation of bad habits that has wired your brain to be the way that it is, that has made your amygdala as sensitive as it is, right? An accumulation of bad habits. But we can rewire all that with everything that we just talked about. And I'm very proud of how far you've come, UK, and I hope you keep it up. Mike, I hope you're having a good day, dude. I have no clue what you're saying, but I hope you're having a good day nonetheless. I am newish. Found your channel a month or two ago, but I've been lurking, didn't comment until now. Well, welcome, officially welcome, Spider Cat. I'm glad you decided to join us in the comments. Let's see here. We got a 55. I'm going to round it up to 55 because I think PayPal did something weird with it. A $55 tip from Olivia. Can we show Olivia some love in the chat, please? I know we stressed this the other day, and I promise, I don't want to sound like a broken record. Sorry for the burp. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we should always show our tippers some love, man. They keep the show on the road, you know, for all of you. There's a lot of people out there in difficult financial situations. They can't afford to tip. But for those who can, that's got us on a 73-day streak. They really help keep me afloat, which helps keep the show on the road, man. So the least you can do, right? The least you can do is give these tippers a shout out, right? Spam the chat with some emojis. Just show them a little bit of love. You know, we should show them a little bit of love. They keep us going, man. They keep us going. They deserve the love. They deserve all the love. Let's see. Thank you again, Olivia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Hey, I appreciate that comment, Travis. I try, dude. I try. Thank you. It really does, Travis. Thank you. Haven't heard of Dr. Weeps before. Seeing Wonder Bros vids, her work is amazing, and Wonder Bro delivers her message and lessons so well. So thankful. Yeah, Dr. Weeks, the OG, and then we just kind of elaborate on that, right? We take Dr. Weeks, we elaborate on that, we put our own twist on that, we put our own spin on that, we make it modern. We make it modern, and we throw a few curse words in there, and I think it makes more sense to people, right, in modern day, the way we speak these days. So we just take Dr. Claire Weeks. We take some other inspiration from a few other people. You know, take my personal experience and everything I've learned from talking to others. Just a mix of everything, man. We throw it all together. We get the two main keys, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It works out. It works out perfect. It works out perfect. I do appreciate you guys in the chat showing the love to the tippers, man. Like I said, we wouldn't be on a 73-day streak now if it wasn't for these guys. So even if you're experiencing financial troubles, you can't tip, that's fine. You're welcomed here and you're loved all the same. But the least we could do is show our tippers some love, because they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. It's completely optional, so we should always be thankful for these people. Amazing, amazing, amazing. What's up, Maddie? You told me to go to bed, and I did not. Obviously. Here I am. Oh, you send in euros, and it converts to USD. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was blaming it on PayPal, but that makes sense. Now I get it. Wonder Bro, for some odd reason, symptoms have been trying to test me lately. It's not really odd, right? It's not really odd. People will tell you all the time there's a lot of ups and downs. People will tell you all the time there's a lot of ups and downs. You don't really control when it fires off, but it's a perfect opportunity to practice what we spoke about today, right? Not going down those worry rabbit holes, building your accepting attitude, living your life. So it's not really odd. It might feel odd. It might seem odd, but it's not odd. Anybody who's ever been through recovery or anxiety, they'll tell you it's not odd. If I constantly read back other answers or read quotes or articles that are helpful and reminds of what I have to do, is these reminders or coping mechanism? I wouldn't call it a coping mechanism if you're using what you learn. So I get that question from time to time. Is watching your streams, Wonder Bro, is that a coping method? If you're using what you learn, no. If you're not using what you learn, and you just turn on a stream every time you're anxious, but you're still adding where you're going down every worry rabbit hole, you're not living, it's just when you're anxious, you turn on a Wonder Bros stream, but you're making no attempt to avoid these worry rabbit holes, to work on not going down those rabbit holes, to live your life. You're making no attempt to do any of that. You just turn on a stream when you're anxious, but you're not using the advice. If that's the case, yes, I would start making some changes. But if you're just watching the streams, learning a thing or two, getting some reminders, sharpening your skills, and you're actually putting this shit to work, then no, that's perfectly fine. That's acceptable. Thank you so much again, Olivia. I appreciate you. I really, really do. I really, really do. You're the best. You're the best. I mean, it's 2 p.m. now, Maddie. I mean, at this point, should I just stay up and try to fix my sleep schedule? I mean, really, chat. It's 2 p.m. Should I just stay up for another 6 hours and just fix it? I wonder. It probably works in that way for you, Arnold, because the streams remind you to not worry, to not go down the worry rabbit holes, and then maybe you start to apply that without even realizing it. And that might be why they work for you. In that case, keep practicing. Nothing wrong with that. Well, that's the thing, Kay. I don't really touch on the subject of doctors or therapists. That's all personal choice. I'm neither one of those things. I'm just, your average Joe who's been there, done that. But as far as doctors go, yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you. Most doctors, when they hear the term anxiety, they just think of anxiety on a very general scale. They don't sit and think, ooh, maybe they're not just having anxiety. Maybe they're full blown sensitized. That never really crosses a doctor's mind, for the most part. Maddie says yes. You should just stay up. Says Mike. Olivia says yes. Stay awake. Truth says yes. Everybody wants me to just fix that sleep schedule. Everybody just wants me to fix that sleep schedule. What's up, Sherry? I don't think I've seen you here before. Just had my first panic attack in 4 years. Well, awesome. You have just found the best family that you could ever find. So we want to give that panic attack a big shout out. Shout out to Sherry's panic attack in chat. Can we get a round of applause for Sherry and her panic attack? Now, since Sherry, I'm assuming, is new here, she's probably like, "What's wrong with this guy? He must be a bit of a crazy man to ask his chat to give a round of applause to a panic attack." But I'm telling you, just stick with me here. You found a really good resource for anxiety and panic. It'll make sense to you. Watch a few streams. You'll get on board. You'll start to understand what we're saying here. Just keep streaming for 6 hours. Oh man, pull a marathon, huh? Just pull a marathon. Oh, you've been here. Okay, you've been here for 4 years. So you were back. Okay, I get you. You were back when we were making videos in the snow. You were back when we were making videos in the snow. Okay, I got you. So 4 years. I'm assuming the channel helped, or I'm not sure, but 4 years have went by, and a bit of a panic attack is shaking you up again. Perfectly fine. Doesn't have to turn into a big deal. Doesn't have to go anywhere. I know people that have never been sensitized that have random panic attacks sometimes. It happens. It's a human thing, right? But since you've been here for a while, you already know what's up. So there's no need to turn that panic attack into a big ordeal. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Don't go down the worry rabbit hole. It is what it is. You had a panic attack. Move on with it. That can literally be the end of it if you want it to be the end of it. You don't have to go down any rabbit holes, aka overthinking, aka worry. You can use the accepting reminders, avoid those rabbit holes, and just get right back at it, right? Says, yes, I just lost my stepdad. I apologize. I hate to hear that. And all these tornadoes. So definitely some outside stressors threw you into a bit of a panic attack. That's fine. Like I said, doesn't have to turn into anything. Avoid the worry rabbit holes. As we've always said, don't follow. If you're here from 4 years ago, then you'll remember me saying, don't follow those thoughts, right? Same concept here. Don't get involved in the worry. Don't get involved in the thinking. Use your accepting reminders. Don't go down those rabbit holes. You'll recover from all of this just fine. Again, I apologize about your loss. Hate to hear that. Kate, what is up, Kate? How you doing? Are you feeling better? How are you feeling? Kate's a little under the weather, so we should all be very nice to Kate right now. Usually I'm not very nice to Kate. I like to pick on Kate, but since she's sick, I'm going to be nice to Kate today. Have you got snow still, Wonder Bro? We got a little bit of snow. It's like pretty much all melted. They're calling for a bunch of snow here in like the next 20, 30 minutes, or they were calling for a bunch of snow. Winter storm warning shit. It didn't happen last time they called for it, so I'm not holding my breath this time. Arnold says, follow Wonder Bro, but not on the streets at night. Yes, I completely agree with that statement. Follow me, subscribe, but don't follow me on the streets at night. That's a good way to put it, Arnold. I appreciate the disclaimer there. Everybody, Kate is here. Keep your distance. Put your masks on. Put your masks on, people. Put your masks on. Everybody in chat wants me to just try to fix the sleep schedule, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Speaking of the categories, Speaking of the categories, Mike, the Discord 2021 awards voting will close for that in 2 days. In 2 days. So if you want to vote on some of those categories, head on over there and do that. You got 2 more days to do that. That will officially be closed on the 8th. How was your walk today, Ghost? Did you enjoy your daily walk? I'm sure you did. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream, dude. It's been a good one today, guys. It's been a good one. Yeah, as you yawn, exactly, Maddie. Exactly. That is my point. That is my point. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough if I do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Don't forget to vote, everybody. Everybody, don't forget to vote for me. I see what you did there. What's up, Christopher? How you doing, dude? How you doing, dude? Let's put on some music. I know I'm not the liveliest today, or maybe I'm more lively when I'm sleepy. I can't really tell the difference. But let's put on some music regardless. I don't even know why I bother with the copyright-free stuff. I always pick copyright-free playlists, but then at the end of my streams, 9 times out of 10, I still get emails saying that my stream violated copyright, blah, blah, blah. So I don't even know why I bother with it, but I forgot my headset's dead. So you guys are going to be able to listen to music and I can't. I need a new charger for this thing, man. It just keeps falling out every time I plug it in. It's lost its grip. Have a nap? I would totally have a nap, but I can't. I can't have naps. Anytime I have a nap, it just turns into a sleep, and it's just not worth it. Naps don't exist for me. I don't think I've ever successfully, a day in my life, laid down and said, I'm going to have a nap, and then woke up in 20, 30 minutes and went on about my day. I don't think I've ever successfully done that a day in my life. Anytime I've ever laid down for a quote-unquote nap, I woke up like 9 hours later. Hey, thank you for that, Kate. I really do appreciate it. I see you. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Charger for my headset, Ghost, which is just a regular USB. I've got some. I just need to pull one out, but this one has lost its grip, man. I stick it in the thing and it just falls out of the headset no matter what I do. I'm doing my art as I listen to another great stream. Thank you. I appreciate that, Truth. Thank you for watching. Wonder Bro is not high. Wonder Bro is sleepy. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. How dare you slander me like that, Ghost? How dare you? It was a little weird watching Jack Black get into his dance on the screen there without music going. It's kind of awkward. Ah, I hate to hear that, Christopher. I hate to hear that, dude. I hate to hear that. Let's show some love in the chat for Christopher, man. It'll get easier in time. I hate it when people say the opposite. I'm just going to take this opportunity to make this point. I hate it when people say the opposite. Like when somebody loses a family member or something, they're like, oh, I've been there. I lost my dad, I lost my grandpa, whatever. I hate it when people say that though, and they follow it with, "Oh, it never gets easier. It never gets better." No, it does. I don't know why people say that. It may be an ego trip, or they want to feel like they're tough or something. I don't know. It does get easier. Let me tell you, I lost my dad. I lost both my grandparents. I lost all these people uh, pretty recently too. And I'm going to tell you that it does get easier. I don't know why people make it into a habit of saying, "Oh, it just never gets easier. It just never gets easier, honey." Yeah, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Time, it gets easier. You're always going to miss that person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. You're always going to miss that person, but it does get easier as far as the emotions go and the grief goes, and all that stuff does get easier. I don't know why people say the opposite. It's just wrong. It does get easier, so hang in there. Hang in there. Maybe I'll have to use the rubber band trick to get my charger to stay in my headset. Yeah, Chris says I lost my dad 10 years ago. It does get easier. It does. Um, and that's just me being real with you. I've been there. You're always going to miss the person. I don't want people to confuse what I'm trying to say here. I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm trying to say. I will always miss my dad. I will always miss my grandpa. I will always miss my grandma. I'll always miss these people. But as far as the initial shock, the grief, the emotions, all of these things, it does get easier. It does get easier. Hey, I'm glad you've got these skills, man. I'm glad you've got these skills now, Christopher. It should make this difficult time for you at least a little bit easier. Hey, what's up, UK? Welcome, dude. Absolutely, Sherry. Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoy the streams. Well, you'll always have an emotional connection to the people that you've lost, Arnold. Right? I'm not saying you won't. But I'm talking about that initial shock and that grief and that gut wrenching feeling, and all of that. It gets easier. It gets easier. Oh, I don't just have one, Maddie. I've probably got like 30 somewhere. I probably got like 30 somewhere. But the thing about that is, this one's extremely long. This is like a 10-foot charger, so it's very convenient. The other ones I have are a little bit shorter, so I'm not even sure I could charge the headset while using it if I have to use a different cord. So that's why I'm considering the rubber band trick. Maybe. Maybe. A lot of people are pretty negative, Sherry, unfortunately. That's the world we live in. That's okay though. It's okay. You can find the not so negative people. They're out there. They exist. They exist. Probably will, Kate. All right, beautiful people. All right, we're going to go ahead and end this one here. It's been a beautiful one. I'm over here falling asleep, man. I'm over here falling asleep. We're going to go ahead and end this one here before I get extremely boring on you guys, which I can feel is fast approaching. But anyway, I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do. I feel like this was a great stream. We made some very solid, good points. Overall, just great communication. I love you guys. Leave the stream a like if you enjoyed it. And I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. Until next time, guys, as always,